Hey, what's up, YouTube family? It's your favorite black guy from Nebraska. Yes, there's plenty of black people here in Nebraska. Check this out. You guys are really going to enjoy this information. We're still in the book, Drugs as Weapons Against Us by John L. Politicize. Today, we're going to talk about how politicizing gangs worry U.S. intelligence. There's a lot of information here that you don't know about. It's going to surprise you. It should concern you because there's power in supposedly gangs. And when you use that power for good, there's a machine that's going to come after you. Their local government is going to come after you, and they're going to make an example out of you when you're not following their program. About the same time he produced his first CD, Politicized Gangs Were U.S. Intelligence, Tupac Shakur came up with his Thug Life movement. Tupac's manager and longtime political mentor, Watani Tayamba, confirmed that Tupac had decided to pretend to be a gangster in order to appeal to gangs and then politicize them. This was part of his Black Panther extended family work in helping local Bloods and Crip gangs stop fighting each other over drug dealing turf and fight instead for political change. In the early 1990s, someone had filmed Los Angeles police beating unarmed motorist Rodney King. It made nightly news, and some of the police officers were on trial. Their acquittal sparked the LA riots. Just days before, former Black Panthers and other activists successfully developed a gang truce between several sections of the Bloods and the Crips, who vowed to fight police racism instead of each other. Imagine that. Former Panther and civil rights activist singer Harry Belafonte helped the peace truce, and activist conversion spread to Oakland, which worried the intelligence community. That worries the government. Okay, when you're spreading peace and you decide to reroute the target to those who really oppressing you, that's going to worry them. The Bloods and the Crips not only encompass the majority of the estimated 100,000 gang members in Los Angeles, but reports also acknowledge the two gangs had spread to states across the U.S. from Texas to New York. Studies found 1,100 individual Bloods and Crip gangs active in 115 cities. By 1995, the Bloods and Crips were reportedly active in all four branches of the armed services and at more than 50 military bases around the U.S. Tupac Shakur helped host gang truce picnics and also fashioned a code of thug life plan with his imprisoned stepfather, Matulu Shakur. Their plan sought to reduce the harm that drug-dealing gangs caused in the community. Matulu further helped organize a gang truce between the Crips and the Bloods in the federal prison system. In the summer of 1992, the nation published a plan promoted by one former gang leader turned socialist writer, Monster Cody Scott from A-Tray Gangster. In the article, Scott discussed the Bloods and Crips truce and their plan that included a proposal for Los Angeles budget to improve poor communities, education, and economy, as well as getting drug lords to convert to legitimate businesses. Over the following years, the gang unity movement gained top political allies, including Congresswoman Maxine Waters. The gang unity movement raised funds for legitimate businesses with profits going towards rebuilding recreational centers, drug treatment, and community centers. These converted gangs also may have posed a threat to mainstream political leadership, as many credited Jose Chacha Jimenez and his converted Chicago gang, the Young Lords, with helping elect Chicago's first black mayor, Harold Washington, in the 1980s. The Los Angeles Police Department responded to this development with several operations and the bolstering of their specialized anti-gang units. U.S. Attorney General William Barr of President George W. Bush's administration said the Crips and Bloods, together with criminal illegal aliens, replaced communism as the major domestic subversive threat. Now, this is the same George W. Bush that assisted Reagan and other government officials in California push drugs and guns in the inner city. So now he wants to play the high and mighty role. The U.S. Justice Department deployed Marines in the 82nd Airborne in the streets during the LA riots. They also had the FBI and the Immigration and Naturalization Services working against these gangs. The FBI deployed a 100-agent unit to investigate the Bloods and Crips. They worked with the LA Police Department in Operation Hammer, a program that had police raiding activists, gang truce meetings, and framing the gang truce leaders. Bush also initiated a second program, Weed and Seed, that coincided with this administration's statements that gangs led the LA riots. Bush said drug dealers and gang members needed to be weeded out for a neighborhood to get seed money. Wow. Activists claim the name applied to undercover agents weeding into the Bloods and Crips to seed conflict, because that's what they do. Gunmen sue murder gang truce leaders, causing few repercussions. Tony Bogart, one of the gang leaders, acclaimed nationally for championing the Watts Neighborhood Bloods, Crips truce of 1992, was murdered in January of 1994. Bogart was considered a hero in Watts for forming the nonprofit Hands Across Watts, which promoted business ventures for Reform Bloods and Crips. Reputed drug dealer Rodney Compton fatally shot Bogart 6 times and was released from jail after pleading no contest to 1 count of voluntary manslaughter. Police said gunpowder residue was found on Bogart, who was caught without his bulletproof vest on. It sounds like they were following him. Compton shot once in the arm, said Bogart fired first, though no witnesses confirmed his account. Other gang truce leaders were targeted. Police arrested Dwayne Holmes, the gang truce leader who finalized the 92 truce for an alleged crime of a $10 robbery at a gang unity dance. Listen to this. Despite personal appearances on his behalf by California Congresswoman Maxine Waters and once and future Governor Jerry Brown, Holmes received a near maximum sentence, and the court sent him to a remote prison in Sierra Nevada mountains. In spite of these problems, over the next few years, activists helped the gang truce spread throughout Los Angeles. While the 1992 gang truce reportedly started with the 3 largest housing project gangs, primarily in the Watts section of LA, by the spring of 1994, more than 24 other LA rival gang factions joined the truce. The gang peace activists also reached out to the Mexican gangs and other ethnic groups. Latinos played a huge part in the rioting, and Latino rappers publicly supported the rebellion of blacks in LA. Gang truces and activist conversions eventually spread nationwide and were talked about internationally. In 1993, activists like Common Ground Foundation director Fred Williams helped organize a national gang truce summit in Kansas City, Missouri. LA Blood Omar Party took Black Panther books to New York, starting the gang in Rikers Prison to fight oppression. And in 1994, leaders of the Bloods and Crips addressed rallies in England, Manchester, and London, organized by the Black British organization Panther, a subsection of a socialist group, the Militant. New York saw the conversion of the state chapter of Latin Kings into the Almighty Latin King and Queen Nation. In the Almighty Latin King and Queen Nation, Street Politics, and the Transformation of a New York City Gang, published by Columbia University, it was reported that the 3,000-strong group stopped dealing drugs and started to get involved in activism. Former Young Lords activist Vincent Panama Alba influenced Latin Kings leader Antonio King Tone Fernandez to make this conversion. After King Tone converted the Latin Kings into an activist group, the NYPD arrested King Tone on many charges, but courts failed to convict him. Prosecutors finally sent King Tone to jail long-term for conspiracy to sell and distribute heroin in 1998. Alba and other prominent leaders believe it was a frame-up. After the FBI and New York police spent $1 million on Operation Crown that year, but failed to find evidence against 91 other Almighty Latin King Queen Nation leaders. One single raid during the operation was reportedly the largest in New York City since alcohol prohibition. So now that you see the lengths that the government will go to put a stop to anything positive when it comes to these communities, it's absolutely jaw-dropping. Because you would think that, well, what would they care? Because these gangs really ain't that big of a deal. They're not caused that much of a threat. Well, they are a threat. Definitely when you talk about politicizing and you talk about doing for self and you talk about desiring resources that's going to make a long-term effect and turn things around, turn the tide on things. The next chapter is called Gang Conversions. The next part of this chapter is called Gang Conversions Cost Money Launderers Billions, which a lot of people don't know, but this is the truth. So if you desire to hear more of this, let me know. I hope you guys are enjoying this information. If you haven't checked this out, and if you're just coming to this video, check out my content from from the last couple of 2-3 days. Great content, great information, and it'll open your mind. It's your favorite black guy from Nebraska. Yes, there's plenty of black people here in Nebraska. I'm out. Peace.